Hi, welcome to For Goodness Sakes by Mean Old Granny Anderson. Today I'm going to talk about attitudes for healthy relationships. Relationship skills are important, but our attitudes may be even more important in building happy, long-term, healthy connections to others. Following David Letterman's example, I came up with my top 10 relationship attitudes. Number 10. The Dalai Lama, as quoted in Susan Page's book, Why Talking is Not Enough, says, if you want to be happy, be compassionate. If you want others to be happy, be compassionate. But what is compassion? The dictionary defines it as a sympathetic consciousness of others' distress, together with a desire to alleviate it. Desire to alleviate others' distress. A memory from high school demonstrates compassion for me. My father had just died suddenly. A couple of days later, the doorbell rang. I answered it. There stood one of my high school friends. She asked, April, would you like to go for a walk? For blocks and blocks, I poured out my heart to her. Never will I forget her compassionate listening at one of the most difficult times of my life. Every day we meet someone who can use our compassion. When we make that cup of hot cocoa, or listen to the frustration about a boss or classmate, give a hug, or even just a gentle touch on the shoulder, we grow as a person and our relationships grow too. Sacrifice. Number 9, sacrifice. Sacrifice is not a word often heard in our society. It means surrendering something, especially something we need or want, for the sake of someone else. It may mean giving up material objects. More importantly, more likely, in everyday life, it means time and effort spent on another's needs rather than on our own pleasure, without expecting anything in return. Key point. We're doing it just to be helpful. We're not expecting anything in return. When we give to another person in a way that requires us to take away from self, it builds a relationship and helps us connect to another. The loving feelings become stronger, not only for the person receiving, but also for the person giving. My favorite example of sacrifice is being a new parent. Parenthood demands that we put our baby's needs before our own. Our need to sleep, to eat, to play. Our most basic need fulfillment comes after our baby's needs are fulfilled, if the baby is to survive and thrive. If we practice that same kind of sacrifice more in our other relationships, those relationships and the people in them will also more likely thrive. While at first it feels painful to give when we feel needy ourselves, sacrifice fills our needs in ways that being selfish never can. Number 8, forgiveness. Most of us know that holding on to anger and resentment toward another is more harmful to us than the person who has wronged us. Yet truly being able to forgive is not easy, especially if the offense is large and the offender is close to us. My favorite definition for forgiving is allowing room for error and weakness. Let's face it, we all mess up sometimes, make mistakes, and take out our pain on others now and then. Last night, I was grumpy to my husband. He picked 2 movies, neither of which thrilled me, so I complained at him. Didn't you write down the names of those movies we saw and previewed that looked really good? On and on I complained. This morning, still feeling a bit hurt, he said, imitating and teasing me, "Can't you even find a good romantic comedy?" Laughing, I said, "I'm sorry, I was a jerk. Please forgive me." He grinned. "Oh, I will, but not till I have more fun giving you grief." Which brings me to the next positive relationship attitude: humor and fun-loving attitude. Life just isn't worth living if you can't laugh at yourself and take a little lighthearted teasing. The child inside of us needs to be kept alive through play, laughter, and silly fun. If you've forgotten how to play, think back to your childhood or watch young children playing and imitate them. If you can't bring yourself to play in the sandbox, fly a kite, play with dolls, run through the sprinkler, play tag, or any other childhood play, then try the adult version. Instead of the sandbox, plant a garden. Instead of flying a kite, play golf. Instead of playing with dolls, go to a play. Go for a swim or a hike or play cards. If you have young children or grandchildren, play with them. That's some of the most fun times, I think. My maternal grandmother, even in her 90s, giggled with pleasure when we would tease her. My paternal grandmother made us laugh by seeing how far she could kick her shoes into the air. I loved that. We never outgrow our need for laughter and fun. Remember, fun is more fun when we do it together. Number 6. Given it's November and the month for Thanksgiving, this one's a good one: gratefulness. This positive attitude needs to be developed and felt inside and then expressed to others. Expressing appreciation through a verbal thank you, a compliment, a thank you note, a warm smile, a small gift, a text, or an email — there's many ways now through technology — shows others how we value them and what they do for us. One of my best memories around this attitude was when my high school age son handed me a story about a homemaker, a mom who was told by the officials, apparently, "You can't collect any Social Security because you've never worked." The story that my son had found was written by this mom's daughter. It told of the appreciation that the daughter felt and the admiration for all the work and dedication her mom had shown by working to raise her children. My son, when he gave it to me, said, "This is how I feel about you, Mom." Sorry, that one gets me a little teary-eyed. Talk about a nice expression of gratitude attitude from a son to a homemaker mom. Okay, I'm out of room and time. I like to keep my videos short, so the last 5 positive relationship skills I'll tell in the next video. By the way, one of the movies that I watched with my husband that he had picked out was actually a wonderful movie. Have a great day, and that's all, for goodness sakes, by Mean Old Granny Anderson. Bye till next time.